Welcome, YouTubers. Today we're going to venture into the insides of an 8-track cartridge. Many of you may be wondering, what the heck are these things? And the other thing you might be wondering, okay, I know what they are. How the heck do they work? Well, today we're going to show you somewhat how they work. First things first, let's grab ourselves a guinea pig. Let's see here, a box of cartridges I use quite often. Let's see, what would be an easy one to take apart? Aha! It's just a 90-minute homemader. It's heart. There's the albums Dog and Butterfly and the unauthorized magazine on here. And it is a relatively simple cart to take apart. First things first is, some might be wondering, well, how big is these things? Well, for starters, here, the 8-track cartridge, here is the CD, here is a cassette in its case, and here is a cassette. Pretty big difference, to say the least. And let's see if we can maybe get one or two to stand up. We'll see here. These are pretty easy to stand up. There's the 8-track cartridge is significantly bigger. Also, the tape inside the cartridge is, you can see, is twice as wide. This tape is only an 1/8 inch wide. This is 1/4 inch wide. But the stereo channel widths on both tapes are actually the same, believe it or not. So first things first, let's get the next things up. Let's get it open. You can see there's 5 little holes in this cartridge. Now, if you look in those 5 little holes, you see there's this funny looking little tab in there. So what you do is very carefully, typically I like to start on this end because on this particular cart there is kind of a place you can use your finger to pry. Now all carts are made different, and as you can see, it's already starting to split open. And you just kind of get in there and pop that, and pop that one, and you can see the cart starting to come apart very nicely. Switch hands here, pry inside that one. Sometimes they can be very tricky, sometimes they are very easily opened, sometimes they are very easily opened, but because they are so easy to open, it makes them actually hard because you end up breaking them. And then that's when Scotch tape becomes your best friend. There! You got it open. That's what the top side of the cartridge looks like, but there's not a whole lot interesting in there. Just the little tabs that you can actually see that hold this particular style together. Now we have the interesting part. The actual tape itself. Oh, that's another pinch roller from another cart that I took apart earlier. Not all have the tape like this wrapped around these little posts. Some are just simply like that. And this is a little thing called a pinch roller. It just comes right off. They're made out of rubber, like this one, with the plastic bushing inside. It just rides in there. Or they can be like this one, made of plastic. Personally, I think the rubber ones are better. They have a tendency to melt in some carts, but they grab the tape better and engage with the machine capstan much better and allow for the cart to play better without sliding, you may say. This is just a little plastic Teflon guide. Not all have these in there. There's supposed to be a little foam pad that goes right here, either a foam pad that's got kind of something that looks like Scotch tape on the side that rubs up against the back side of the tape, which, by the way, the back side of the tape has graphite on it, and that is a lubricant to lubricate this inside the hub here and everything, because as you can see, it pulls the tape from the outside, or the inside of the, of the hub, which it does this. We'll get to that later, but that's about it. Or sometimes there's a little, like a bronze spring type of deal with little felt pads on it too. That sometimes was. Now, here's the bottom of the cartridge, minus the pinch roller. This right here, you might wonder, well, what's that little notch there for? Well, that is there, and so that in the machine there's a little wheel that rubs up against that, locks in there. It keeps the cartridge from falling out, and makes sure that securely engages with the capstan in there with the pinch roller. And this is here is just kind of a guide to help the tape work its way out. And that's just a spool to tape. Whoopsie. You gotta be very careful that don't happen. These unravel quite easily. So that just goes into there. As you can see, again, this tape isn't on there that tight. It doesn't have to be. It actually will not work right if it is too tight. And that just sits into there. So sometimes they can be a little tricky to get lined up right. But there. Now, if this was actually inside a machine, it would be a little steel capstan, little spindle that would come up against this and turn, and so that what would happen is the tape would pull from the inside here of the spool, as you can see, and the tape pulls out nice and smooth from the center of your hub. It comes out. Your solenoid head would be right here to detect the sensing strip to tell the machine when to change programs. Your actual playback record head would be right here. The capstan would be right here, and as you follow the tape, it comes around the roller and wraps itself right on the outside of this big spool, which in terms of the tape really makes it endless. I mean, these things do break down eventually, but that's what I like about them. They are repairable. These can be fixed if you're willing to take the time to fix them, and you can get many, 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 many years of how old they already are of enjoyment out of these tapes. And this just snaps together. Just make sure you don't crush the tape, and like that. There it is. Thanks y'all for watching. You can subscribe to my channel, ShopRat17, or you can find my 8-track page on Facebook, which is facebook.com, the URL, and then right-hand slash 8-track forever, or forever 8-track. I think it's 8-track forever. I can't remember, to be honest with you. It's 1 and 2, but the 8 is the actual digit 8 and not spelt out. And that's about it. And thanks for watching. You can contact me if you have any questions about repairing these and things like that. I'm going to try to post some more videos, and thank you.